I don't even know what to say. And are they actually just going to switch Chovy and Doran?
I don't think about that, but
I mean,
actually all the
neither of
are
these lanes are great for DragonX, to be honest. But I guess maybe Mordekaiser is going to have a worse time against Akali. And Chovy can just use Haymaker whenever Unleash Power comes out and build a bunch of magic resist.
I mean, I'm just not sure about why they picked up this Sett mid lane Alia. Maybe, I mean, he's so Syndra, and he just picked it after that, so maybe that's the reason. We'll see the reason.
Exactly. Let's see as we get into Game 8. All right, here we are onto the Rift for the final game of the mid-season cup for the group stage. Day number 2.
It's Phase Rush, by the way. Phase Rush mid Sett.
Oh, hell yeah.
With heal.
Yeah.
With heal.
Do you know what heal does? It makes your Nimbus Cloak insane amounts of movement speed.
True.
Right?
Yeah, and it seems like Yagao has no cleanse for the Sett flash combo.
Uh-huh. Chovy's just absolutely favored in this matchup. Not entirely, not true at all, right, guys? Like Yagao, he's got a phase rush of his own. He's also Syndra. He can cast spells while moving, and Chovy should have a pretty rough time. The grit that Sett has and that extra that extra regen is going to be very helpful. You can see it is the ultra movement speed Sett build this time around again, but he's going to go into the resolve tree to try and grab a little bit of extra sustain.
So there is no Hex Flash for the Sett. I mean, again, DRX picked up for the early game. I don't see this composition as late game teamfight.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, I mean I think they have more gears as they move to the late game, right? Like it feels more like the composition has an identity. But you're right. As far as champions, hell no. Like this is let's win by 25.
Yeah, I mean, and Chovy picked up. I mean, Sett is not a consistent damage dealer when it comes to team fight. He's all in and engage in one timing and burst the damage and soak some damage. So I'm just worried about it.
I'm worried about it too, and I'm worried about Chovy being able to survive in this laning phase. He's been playing melee into Syndra a lot with a couple of Rumble games that he's had.
Yeah.
But this is a very CV Max, Dark Technologies style draft,
Dark Technology, yeah.
And
Talia Fanteon.
Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Oftentimes it just doesn't work. And they played, you remember Lucian Funnel that they just had, a week of loving and losing on over and over again? Sometimes the stubbornness can become an issue. But is this going to be an example of that? Because so far today, their first 2 games certainly displayed some really creative drafts, some really cool looks for this team. So far Doran also playing very well up against Zoom here topside. Although Zoom, I think an example of a player that's a little bit better than a lot of the Mordekaisers that we've seen in the LCK. I think the LPL had some better Mordekaiser play. In comparison to what we had. We sort of lost interest in Mordekaiser outside of Ixu wanting to play him with a whole bunch of attack speed. And we'll see whether Zoom is going to go down that route with the Wits End Rage Blade.
Oh ho. No cleans, by the way.
Yeah, and this might be how you get Chovy ahead. That's what Yagao.
It's the timing.
Yeah, getting baited as in they go. Facebreaker is going to land onto Yagao, and Kanavi turns up and finds himself with a couple of people here that are going to deny this. Oh, the flash comes out. No, actually, Yagao flashing over the wall, teleports to try and get back as Chovy, another facebreaker, and good night, Yagao. Decent try, but he was on top of a ward in the end. Chovy puts it down, locks it up, and grabs himself first blood. And you said that things could be going fast, and that's exactly what DRX want to go for.
We got first kill at 4 minutes, I'm glad.
Oh,
and
baby.
He got cancelled, TP2, so this is actually really huge, by the way. He lost so many mid creeps and
kept Chovy's flash. So flash Facebreaker into Pillar is there to stop Yagao from being able to do anything, and the punishment on picking up this teleport is just going to continue.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance that Yagao, like, gets his flashback up and is sitting on 0-3.
Yeah.
Or 0 creeps. As we have a look at it again.
It was just plain stun and into pillar. And also Keria's roam. As I mentioned, Kalista is gonna push Ezreal for like 100 years, so
200 years in fact?
yeah, so
oh, no, he's not in the game.
It was really great bot lane fire into help mid lane.
Yeah, no, I think it was just well orchestrated by DRX, and actually really, like, obviously this is something that CVMax probably came up with as like one of their strategies to try and allow the Sett to be able to function in the mid lane. But I like coaches that give their players a plan of attack, right? Or, you know, whoever it was that actually had the idea. I don't want to guarantee that it was CVMax, but I have a feeling it feels like something that he would have designed. And it allows the players to just focus on the game and understand that the strategy is something that they already have in place. And so you don't need to think too much extra about it. And thinking on the fly and getting all those shot calls working and things like that. You just follow the motions and do something that you're confident at. So I like it, especially in these tiebreakers, as DRX are going to lock down the Ocean Drake. We have Mountain or Infernal as our final Dragon Soul of the day.
So yeah, he's already having fun time, Chovy. He has no vision on the top side, but he's like just pushing in front of Yagao's face.
Oh, Kanavi. This is dangerous. As Chovy actually looking for Yagao. He sneaks into this brush and he just gets hand-delivered. Immediately the safeguard comes out as Kanavi. I think that might have been a little bit of mechanical error. He's looking to try and turn it onto Pyosik as Doran. He gets himself in there. One more auto from Chovy will lock down this kill onto Kanavi as he is going to land it. And Pyosik baits out the Q and isn't going to get killed. That was, you know, somewhat close to him just being able to provide a taxi ride and a kill. But in the end, not going to happen. And Lee Sin is picked again. Yeah. And once again, we're asking why.
This is LCK mid laners, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is also Korean Lee Sins. Apart from Ning. Ning, of course, isn't.
That's true.
But so far, we've just had a lot of Lee Sin today.
Yeah.
And a lot of losing. Like, we know that this isn't a good pick in most scenarios.
Yeah, then, as my perspective from pro scene experience.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened in scrims, you know? Maybe one player was just smurfing so hard on Lee Sin, so everyone thinks that, oh yeah, Lee Sin is broken.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what I think's broken? Chovy's ability to understand exactly what Kanavi was going to do and getting himself into exactly the right position to counter it. Like,
that is truly true.
Just so good. Uppercuts him, grabs that kill for the second one of the game. Is Doran thinking about utilizing the second portion of his shuriken backflip? But Chovy, he's a man about town. He's just wandering throughout the enemy jungle. And Blast coning himself around here. Level 7 now, 64 CS to the 64 of Yagao. But as you can see, this is going to be Sunfire Cape on the Sett as first item, just so that he can push out waves as fast as possible. And it now has the Mercury Threads, which are the bane of the Syndra's existence.
And yeah, with those early game composition, it's already great news for DRX. And we saw how impactful is when your mid laner has Priya, right? So many times. And this time around, it's gonna be Infernal or Mountain Drake for the Dragon Soul. So I really hope this time around DRX gets 4 Drakes for themselves.
There's the Death Realm, as Doran going to be throwing out a few ultimates. He's going to get another charge, so should be able to make himself escape. Gets over that wall, make himself escape. Not great English, but Pyosik is going to demonstrate pretty great Shelly stealing as True Shot Barrage avoided by doing nothing by Doran. Fantastic work. And Eye of the Herald is taken for free. So DRX, it looked a little bit rough, but actually they take everything that they want all across the map.
They're fine, yeah. they're fine. They got the header, they got the Drake. Everything is going great, and Doran didn't got solo kill. So, I mean, this seems everything perfect, but still, you know. We were talking about this like before when DRX played against JDGaming.
Yeah, we had moments in the Gen G game as well for DRX. DRX,
yes.
I mean, what we need to do, if you're a DRX fan, is just hope that they don't get to soul point again.
Yeah, maybe they're not even surprised by winning all the game, you know?
Oh, wait, no, but there isn't any Ocean Souls anymore. So
no Ocean Soul, it's Infernal or Mountain.
Exactly. So that means that maybe it's a buff to DRX. Maybe they can win, assuming there's no Ocean Soul. This is going to be a skirmish in the river. LvMao getting taken down relatively low. Fates call Kanavi. Exhausted Lee Sin. Gonna go down once again, and there's the concussive blows coming out from Keria. LvMao slowed down, destroyed. Keria controlling this skirmish so beautifully, and Chovy says, LokeN, sorry buddy, but that's a triple kill for my AD carry, and 5-0 for DRX.
I told you, when it comes to last game and long day in a last game tiebreaker, it can be really short.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And one-sided, because one team will lose their focus.
Were you expecting that to be JDG though? I most certainly was. I
mean,
was expecting that to be DRX.
Because it can be, because they can be really cocky, you know? Oh yeah. This is what we wanted.
Oh man,
like,
I was personally pretty worried for DRX. However, the game is not over yet.
Yeah, but I don't know why they were like, if they really wanted to fight here, then they shouldn't focus Nautilus first when they're playing Kalista.
Yeah.
And also, their mid laner was stuck under turret, so there was no point for them to take the fight here. But obviously, it was long day for them, and yeah. Definitely that they lost focus.
Well, Cloud Drake, I believe, was taken down by JDG.
Yeah.
So Kanavi was at least able to grab that. Keria immediately goes golden here as Yagao tries to lock him down. I have a feeling that this is still a dead Nautilus, and it is. As there's the safeguard kick flash, and Deft is going to join him in the death chamber. Kanavi showing us maybe why this Lee Sin was picked up. Level 8 now on the Lee Sin, has been able to keep himself ahead as far as jungle camps are concerned, and maybe his relevance is going to be more than what we've seen from Lee Sin so far this tournament. Certainly not out of the woods yet, but this is a good sign for JDG.
Yep.
And I just want to see an example of why this Lee Sin is picked in a game like this, where it is so high pressure and can be a bit of a disaster. So let's check out Keria being caught again. Maybe Deft with a little bit of a, I don't know, disrespect play with Kanavi just being able to get him in exactly the right position and lock down the shutdown for himself.
Yeah, I mean, JDG just got the Cloud Drake because of the tempo, and it seems like LCK Broadcasting forgot about it. That JDG got the Infernal Drake.
Ah, there we go. We've reset it. Don't worry, we did.
Okay.
It's okay. Jonah's strong. He might be falling asleep, but he's not completely falling asleep.
Okay, great.
And I only assume that because most of us are falling asleep at this stage.
But anyway, it's still great news for JDG. They were falling down so fast, but they at least stopped a little bit.
Yeah, pulled it back.
Fall down, yeah.
Looks like Chovy is actually going to just sit on this Balmy Syndra in favor of just more movement speed, with the Dead Man's Plate coming in most likely as item number 2 or 1, I guess.
Yeah.
1.5. Wouldn't mind it. I think it's an interesting sort of like full tank style set build here for Chovy. Certainly going to be mostly about that utility and being able to frontline, as Akali and Kalista will do most of the work. Kanavi without his flash now. You can see Deft and Keria probably going to be a little bit more comfortable. And as I was just saying, that Dead Man's Plate is finally completed here for Chovy. So he'll have a lot of armor, but there is double AP on the side of JDG. And LokeN also has a lot of magic damage in his kit. So might want to look towards a Spirit Visage relatively soon here for Chovy.
And yeah, Doran is just silent, but this is what he wants, you know? As Akali, you just want to farm in lane like safely and then be really impactful in the team fight. And yeah.
And then go
Chovy.
Ezreal hunting.
Exactly. Chovy is already doing a great job with impacting the map, especially on the bot side. So I don't think they need to be hurried, but I think they will be thinking about the late game again. They already lost the Dragon Temple, right?
Yeah.
They couldn't get the Drake in a row. So
I think giving up a cloud is fine though. If you can stack 3 Mountain Drakes, I mean, what does Kanavi ever do? What does Yagao do with so many extra resistances to get through? It does make Pyosik so powerful also, with Subjugate only adding to all of that that extra resistance. And if you find a Leona with an Eclipse up, like, you're going to be taking so many stats with that ability. It's certainly something that DRX can capitalize on, but talking about Dragon Souls and DRX is certainly a dangerous prospect. They aren't very good at locking them down.
Yeah.
And,
the healer in the
that's
block, but denied.
That was absolutely... It was very, very fast, so you understand why the heal was picked up with the Nimbus Cloak. Chovy looked like he flashed, but he didn't. He just healed. He's going so fast.
I mean, Yagao is actually so insane player, by the way.
He's really good, yeah.
Blocked this Sett one time again. Because last game when they played against DRX, it was Doran playing.
Yeah, the flash
in the top, but
yeah, showstopper actually got completely interrupted. So
yeah. I mean, if actually Doran flashed in that moment, then they would actually completely destroy in that moment. But yeah, this guy is actually really good.
Yeah, I actually think the mid laners in this tournament are just insane, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
we have been blessed in this tournament. Even, you know, when the mid laners that have been kicked out of the tournament are so good, in Showmaker and Faker, you can tell that we must just have pretty high caliber
and
of
Rookie
players.
as well.
Yeah, Rookie's now being eliminated, and now we're finding out whether Yagao or Chovy are going to be in, as BDD has finally been the first Korean, well, LCK mid laner to qualify. So yeah, we're just blessed with some sick mid lane play.
Yep.
I want to confirm that there was a game of Rookie versus Pawn on the Echo versus Yasuo, but the famous game was Rookie versus Godby, so thankfully I did remember correctly. Just needed to ask my mate Rusty back in OCE, and he confirmed. Always there, helping me out. I believe he was actually casting that game alongside me, and Rusty's one of these commentators that absolutely loves like the micro plays, and like because he was a pro player as well, right?
Oh,
and,
something like proc crafting pot for.
Yeah, no, exactly. Those sort of things, like that's what really gets him going. And so watching 2 of like the most mechanically skilled players at the time in the LPL play 2 champions that certainly have a lot of nuance was, yeah, that matchup in that particular game was just super sick. And certainly didn't disappoint here today as well with BDD versus Rookie, despite, in the end, not working out super well for Rookie. The beginning of the game was very, very fun.
Yeah. And the game seems like a bit slowed now.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go story time for a really long time.
Yeah, and nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't it? There was, I think I did story time once today, and there was some action by accident. But otherwise, we haven't had too much of an issue. So, yeah, you know, lol states
they're
happen.
just taking it slowly. And I think the more the game goes, maybe JDG is in a comfort zone because they have 2 TPs while Chovy is having heal in mid lane.
And they also have Mordekaiser when we're contesting objectives in the later stages of the game, and that is always something that is very difficult for junglers to deal with. See whether Pyosik's going to pick up an early QSS to make sure that they can continue locking down these Drakes. There goes the Rift Herald. Plopped down in the mid lane, looking to try and lock this one down. Dredgeline comes in, depth charge onto LokeN, who gets himself the hell out of there. LvMao's exhausted. Pyosik actually very healthy now in the front line, but LvMao does go golden with his stopwatch. Chovy as well, gonna have to flash, uses the Haymaker to keep him alive, but JDG so tanky actually. Just surviving forever. LvMao being a perfect example of that. Don't focus the Leona, I think is what we learned.
Yeah. And also, that was not kind of fully forced fight. They really wanted to just push the turret, so that's why Keria tries to just back LokeN out.
Yeah.
But in that timing, maybe in DRX side, maybe fight it looked better. But Chovy's skill shot kind of missed. So nothing happened. So they lost the splash for free. But I mean, they got the flashes.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, you're right. Deft was just focusing on the turret more than anything else. Solar Flare, in fact, slowing him down very effectively to get him out of the fight. So, again, LvMao, really good player, by the way. And the second charge out of Shelly might have actually made it worth it here for DRX. If they get that in a turret, they will certainly open up the map here. Sunfire Cape is now done. Pyosik is just smacked down by Zoom. Is obliterating Pyosik at any opportunity that he has. But Chovy's going to break his face and then just walk away. Death Realm going to comes in. Yeah, exactly. As Chovy probably not going to die here, but Zoom is going to keep him in place. As Haymaker comes down, True Shot Barrage flies on forward, and oh my god, Doran just gets exploded. Not quite expecting the big yellow beam to come out of the Ezreal and take down the Akali before he could really do anything after that teleport. As DRX now find themselves on the back foot once again. We've seen this before. It's not quite the third Drake. Yep. But, oh man, they've got a script. Yeah. And I just really would prefer it if they stopped reading from it.
And they also, Doran finally did something in this game.
He died.
Tip hit and died.
Yeah.
He just farmed for 20 minutes to die TP on the top side.
It's alright, he gets a redo. Does have Oblivion Orb and the Sorcerer's Shoes plus his Hextech Gunblade, so he is certainly fight ready. As Chovy is very tanky, even if he has no real magic resist outside of his Merc Treads, I think, at this stage. Still, Zoom is just not really doing much to him. Especially through all these shields.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a great stun out of Yagao.
Yeah, maybe in hindsight, Doran could just save TP. And just TP right in time when a Chovy gets focused, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
But, yeah, maybe it was a little bit early TP, but yeah, good play by Yagao. His Syndra is just nothing, and the more I see Syndra in this tournament, the more I think this champion is just so broken. You can just blind pick it.
Yeah. I think the worry here is nice Dredge Line comes out. You're going to have to hold the thought for the moment as there's the showstopper. Double Face Breaker comes in. Double knockup from Deft as well. As both the Syndra and that pesky Leona are going to fall down. Zoom now going to put Chovy once again back in the Death Realm. And is going to be able to take him out as goes golden in the end. Dredge Line is going to miss. Still 3 members alive as Doran dives on top of him. That is going to be the Nautilus going down. And Zoom is very strong right here. But Deft trying to get himself out of the way, hopping away from Zoom right here, but the Obliterate comes forward. Triple kill out of the Kalista, and I have a feeling that some of our LCK players weren't quite ready for the LPL Mordekaiser, because I think this breed is a little bit better than ours.
That's for sure. And now the top lane difference is real in this case. I mean, they just ran into Mordekaiser, who has 10 stacks of Conqueror. Yeah. The passive on.
Yeah. And they are going to even out the Drakes here, Mountain apiece. Mountain Drake's certainly something that Mordekaiser utilizes extremely well, even if he doesn't necessarily stack resistances. Let's have a look at this yet again. Another great engage out of Chovy, and immediately Yagao and LvMao are just out of the fight, right? But again, over-aggression.
Over-aggression, and I think Chovy at the first, he lost the position of the Mordekaiser in the map. And I mean, the reason why they went back is probably Doran called that I have ulti, we can still fight. For those kind of complications, you know?
Yeah, right.
Doran
and also, you know, Deft thinking like maybe he has a little bit more that he could offer. This time he flashed. But,
I mean, he couldn't end it up with his E skill. So that is just all damage from the Kalista, you know? So that's an unlucky moment.
Yep. Well, now I think Zoom's probably going to be trying to put someone like Deft into the Death Chamber. Not sure whether he necessarily wins that one, as Chovy finds a lot of damage onto Yagao, and then just runs on out at lightning speed.
He's like annoying classmate, you know.
It's like, I don't know, Jetson. He just goes really damn fast.
Yeah, I mean he's like annoying classmate.
Yeah,
he just hits and run.
Yeah, hit and run.
Hit and run.
Smacks you. Chovy does have the QSS, so he's not going to get locked down by a Solar Flare or anything like that. And we do still have DRX with a gold lead.
Yep.
But
it's not huge. It's just only little 1k.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter at all, especially when JDG has kind of slightly better team stuff in the late game, in my opinion. Like Ezreal, Syndra, and Mordekaiser Max, especially with 3 kills.
Oh yeah, he is very, very scary.
So I think, I mean, I was expecting more from Doran, because he was just farming for 20 minutes, and then, yeah, I mean, if you do not pop off with Akali in the team fight,
in mid-game.
Yeah, I mean, then why do you pick that champ? In the last game, the reason why he picked it is he's really confident of it, right? So he should show the reason why he picked up this champion, but not yet.
Looks like Mordekaiser is going to come in as second item. I don't mind that in the isolated matchup into the Mordekaiser. He does heal a fair bit with the double tap of his W.
And Conqueror.
And Conqueror, you're right. Just consistent. Sustain. Death Dance almost done here by LokeN as well, so if the Akali can get some 5-point strikes towards the Ezreal, that could certainly be helpful. Chovy with QSS is what I'm actually really interested in, because it means that he's not going to be trapped and taken out by Zoom in these fights. He's not going to be the target, and will be able to continue causing an AoE ruckus against the rest of JDG and providing frontline for Deft, who now has more of Malmortius complete. Q is going to miss there onto the Kalista. Kanavi with Flash available, so Kick Flash certainly going to be something that Deft has to look out for. Doesn't have QSS up for himself just yet.
Yeah, and it's slowly going for the 30 minutes already. The game felt really fast compared to last game, actually.
Yeah, I know. Even though it is now at about the same time that the last game finished.
Yeah.
It was actually, the last game was over in 3 minutes time from now. And I guess if a team fight is just won, you know, in anywhere near JDG or DRX's base, likely that we'd be able to just push through and take that one out. So far, JDG without actually taking down any turrets yet. And that might make things tough as Yagao teleports in towards this bottom side, pinging out onto Doran, who does have a stopwatch in his back pocket. Yagao looking to try and combo him to death, I believe.
Yeah.
See, building up all of these orbs.
And his face chicken.
Yeah, that's going to be that. Is Doran going to go gold in enough time? And now triple knockup does come forward. Zoom, remember, is very powerful. Is now Chovy looking to try and rocket in towards the back line. Zoom down to about half health, but the face breaker comes forward, and Chovy now trying to control this battlefield where he can. Teleport comes in from Doran, but I think the DRX are now looking to disengage, and JDG are going to say thank you very much for the free summoner spell. We'll try and get out. Chovy says no. Still looking for more. There's the showstopper. Flash into the face breaker as well. Haymaker comes down as Doran gets into his shroud, but does have to dash himself out of the way. Zoom goes into his Zhonya's, and Deft still bouncing around. They still haven't taken anyone down just yet. Doran very low. Chovy at half health. Dredgeline goes wide. And DRX, I just don't know whether they can go any further forward with the buttons they have left available to them.
Oh man, I was looking for Deft in Deft all the time because he had the double summon spells. But
yeah.
This time around, he just went back. He's like,
he still does though, and he was like,
what?
He just flashed. Deft just flashed.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah. From where? He flashed from the dragon to the mid lane.
I just cannot.
Well, I mean, that did just happen. This is Deft's handicap for himself. Just wanted to use it.
That was kind of great flank by Chovy, but that LvMao cover for the team was just so clean.
Yeah.
It could be disaster for JDG. That was really great flank by them.
Also getting the flash out of Yagao with that flash face breaker as well from Chovy. I think we're getting an idea as to why he's been put on this Sett pickup.
And yeah, eventually Deft has no flash.
Yeah, ignore that. That's a bug.
And then teamfight cup is slowly coming, by the way.
Well, there's a flash dredge line. There's Chovy looking to come in again. Yeah, there we go. Showstopper down. But Chovy, I think, bit up a little bit more than he could chew. Yagao getting down very, very low, but Zoom into the back line.
Keria's dead.
And Keria is going to be taken out. That's what the Death Realm does for you, as now Pyosik trying to kill this Mordekaiser, but he just can't. Too much zoning potential out from the top laner of JDG. And now DRX are behind in kills and very close to being behind in gold. Thankfully, it's Mountain Drake Soul Point. And DRX are now looking down the barrel of a game that's getting out of their control.
Yeah, I mean, they're slowly losing all point. Slowly, Syndra is getting stronger than mid-set. And also, Ezreal got 3 items eventually. On the top side, Zuma is just strong in whole point. So yeah, let's look at this once again. I mean, I know it was really great engage timing, but it looked great, but in fact, it wasn't.
I think Mordekaiser was actually slightly out of position as well. Just unfortunate.
Yeah, Mordekaiser has TP and your Akali doesn't.
Yeah.
That was also a huge difference as well.
And a lot of QSS tax is going to be required this game as well.
That is true.
As I think the reason why you're seeing Deft not building one is because he thinks he can just win the 1v1 inside the Death Realm anyway. Because of course Kalista, very annoying for someone like Mordekaiser to lock down with the hoppity hops that you can't utilize.
I mean, he has malmotions already, so
yeah,
that's 100%.
I mean, Zoom is like hard carrying this game. This is just nuts out of the top laner of JDG.
I mean, literally Doran is not existing in this game, by the way.
No.
Like, he's doing literally nothing. In team fight, when he jumps in, he's like 200 HP in like 1 second.
It reminds me of Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I don't know whether you have watched the movie before. I think he was in Two Towers, talking about dwarves being natural sprinters. Really good at the beginning, not so good towards the end. And I think that Doran has been a bit of a sprinter so far today.
I mean, he could make it better too, like just having a flanking position all the time and just annoy them, you know, with the position.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm always seeing Akali just dashing in front of their face, and which is so easy to react and to disengage and play against, you know. So I really think Doran should be able to like just flanking on them and looking for like annoying position for their damage dealers. So that means that you can actually be impactful even though you are not dashing in, like still being really annoying for the damage dealers, and maybe you can distract some positions. But right now, it feels like it's just out of control, like in a bad way.
Yeah, it doesn't really know what to do next as well.
Really bad way.
He does have a Zhonya's now, so at least he's going to have that for the next team fight. But that's not going to mean that he equals the value of a 401 Mordekaiser who has been level 18 for what feels like forever.
And one more item as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a Nash's Tooth, and that's
Zhonya's, Rylai, and Leandris.
Perfect. I mean, you could build Deathcap next, Void Stuff next. It's basically
or Morello.
Zoom. Yeah, or Morello if you wanted to. Don't know whether I recommend it. I think Yagao's got the Grievous Wounds down.
Yeah, potential Dragon Soul for DRX.
Teleport to get Doran towards the bottom lane for the flank.
Okay, so he's not flanking.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He's doing exactly what you didn't want him to do. Right now, it's LvMao. Possibly going to get picked up here, but Facebreaker onto 3. And now the Mountain Drake is moving on back. We'll see. Oh, they lock it down. So Mountain Soul has been picked up. It's a big haymaker. Doran goes golden, but Zoom continues to do his Zoom thing. Deft with a big shield. Chovy tries to do what he can, but I just don't think that DRX are going to be able to do it. These team fights are just way too consistent from JDG. And Deft says, I'm just going to stay in this alcove. Just leave me alone, please,
it's
guys.
It's 5-0 in the team fight.
Well, there's Kanavi probably will lose his GA here. and he does. Death's Grasp is going to come down, but the CC is going to be available, and it's just too much. But still going to buy a bit of time. You can see 20 seconds now on Doran, under that, actually. So, Keria available, but the Baron is exactly where the minds of JDG are. And now DRX with a Mountain Soul. Is it going to be enough to keep them in this one? Just not sure.
And yeah, as I mentioned, I mean, look at this. Look at the team fight. Maybe Chovy did his job, but Akali was just like jump in and get hit by one skill shot, and he's 1 HP.
Yeah.
You cannot do these team fights like this one, you know? I mean, you just cannot just go on front with Akali. That's not how it is.
It's not good enough. And it's obviously not good enough because they're consistently losing these team fights now, despite having a pretty good early game start. You were talking about, you know, games can be really fast in tiebreakers like this. Well, JDG have decided that they're going to go back to their consistent ways.
Yeah.
And you can try and speed up an early game, but it just feels very similar to that of the Gen G of old, or even someone like T1, where, yeah, you might win a couple of fights, get a couple of kills, but it doesn't actually matter. And JDG still only just starting to take their turrets, right? Another one falls down, that is going to be even more of a lead, and all of a sudden, it's ballooned to 6,000 out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, look at the LokeN item. I mean, the Ezreal item.
Yeah, he's
he's unkillable. He's unkillable at this point because DRX has no damage dealer, literally. Can Kalista one-shot Ezreal when Ezreal has Bork and Death Dance? With Ice Moon Gunflip?
No.
Or Akali can just one-shot?
No.
0-0, and he was just not flanking this game at all. So, yeah, I mean, the game is obviously really hard, but still, you know, there is chance there is some TP wars behind them, like some pink walls and wall that I can see. So if he can get back his TP, then maybe look for insane one team fight, then the game can be really like random. But right now, JDG is like just so easy.
Well, there's that control ward you can see in the brush very deep.
Yeah, but there's no TP. Like, at least it's like 20, 30 seconds.
Well, in goes Chovy, looks for the showstopper, finds it onto Kanavi. Maybe not the optimal target. That solar flare was so good. Deft immediately obliterated. Kanavi actually surviving somehow in the back line. I don't know how JDG have done this, but I have a feeling that they might just be winning right now. This time Doran's going to survive, but honestly, it's too little, too late, and LokeN even able to punish him towards the very end. The first inhibitor goes down, and they might just be finished with this tiebreaker right here, right now. And JDG, they tie things up. They get to the very last tiebreaker because their wins were the longest, and they're able to stifle DRX, who went 2-0 at the start of the day. The last remaining inhibitor turret will go down. The Nexus to follow. And I'm sorry, you had a lot of chances to come back, DRX, but the champions of LPL Spring 2020 are eventually victorious.
Yep, their team comp was better, their team rotation was better. Everything just felt like they showed up that they're better team than DRX, and yeah.
I think the Mordekaiser was absolutely terrifying as well. As someone that watches predominantly the LCK, we don't get to see too many of these Mordekaisers that show exactly how good he is in these positions. And I think now we understand why it was elected to be picked into things like the Sett so often, because you do take out all of his ability to be that, I guess, nuisance in these team fights. And you can deal with him there as well. As you can see, some pretty sad faces on the side of DRX. CV Max still in the coach's booth. And this guy, Chovy, he tried real hard today. I think his mid set was fantastic. Great positioning in the early game. But they do really need to have some consistency as the games go on. And that was not evident. As it gets to about they have 3 dragons, and then they fall off a cliff, right?
I mean, I really hope this kind of international tournament experience help DRX, because it's kind of practice for the Worlds, right?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
group stage is like some kind of this format as well. So if they can get back or like have some experience to have consistent in the long games, then they can definitely improve. And they already showed up with the 3 rookies in the international tournament. So I mean, they can be sad, obviously,
Yeah.
because they lost, but they can be happy in a good way as well, because
And they
got
also, like,
great experience.
they lost to the LPL 2020 Spring Champions.
Yeah.
Which is theoretically the champions of the most recent tournament of the best region in the world. So if you're going to lose to anyone, that's the best loss you can have,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's true.
Like, they're pretty good, right? That's sort of how it goes. So congratulations to DRX for, making us believers and having a conversation like this when it's in regards to theoretically one of the best teams in the world right now.
Yep.
Based on form of their region and where they made it to in the playoffs. So JDG showing exactly why they are, the LPL champions, because playing with that much patience and resourcefulness, despite DRX getting leads in every single one of their games, just showing that they were able to have that mental fortitude to keep on going that DRX didn't quite have. And look, one LCK team, it's good enough.
Our last hope.
Yep.
It actually happened.
And I wonder when they're going to be playing. Are you going to be casting them tomorrow with Brendan Valdez in
I'm
game
not
number
sure.
1? Or is it going to be LS&I in game
I mean,
number 2?
I really feel like, yeah, I mean, I can understand NA right now, They were always having C9 for their last hold at Wars, and
Yep, and we always have Chinchi.
and then right now we have only Genji. I miss those days when 2 Korean teams were like competing for the Wars finals.
What about the days where semifinals were 3 Korean teams and then Flash Wars? What about those finals? I don't
the
know
good
whether they
days
were
are
a
gone.
finals.
We need to learn from good teams, and I really hope these kind of experience help for the Korean teams. I'm slightly glad as well, Like, I'm glad that this is not Wars. If it was Wars, then I would be so depressed.
Yeah, no, of course. And look, this is still a big deal for so many of these players. We've mentioned the prize pool. It is massive, by the way, 600K for the winner of this tournament. But the thing that I think is really fantastic about this is getting a bit of a gauge on what international competition is going to look like in 2020, because we've been denied it for so long, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that it's brilliant being able to watch these teams go at it on a stage that actually has stakes, because oftentimes, for example, LPL and LCK teams scrim against each other all the time. But scrims are very different to stage games, and I think that already we've seen so many cool things out of both of the regions. The differences between how certain champions work in the hands of different players, and why they are, prioritized differently. And I think this damage graph shows exactly what the LCK wasn't ready for, and that is Mordekaiser.
Yeah. I mean, the one team fight that DRX just ran into Mordekaiser on the mid lane, that was just disaster.
Yeah, it was. And losing with Mountain Soul, not something that happens all that often. It's just an unfortunate one for DRX. From top of the standings, basically guaranteed a spot in the semis, to losing every game from there. And look, sometimes these things just happen.
Yep.
We have to also remind everyone that IG, of course, no longer in this tournament as well. It is only going to be JDG, champions of LPL, coming through in that first place, and Genji to join them, our champions of the regular split.
Yeah.
And not so much in the final that we don't talk about anymore. However, turning around performances from a lot of their key players in this tournament so far, and you said it at the very beginning, really did look like a hope for the LCK. They will take that first seed, and then DRX in third place as we round this one out, with IG finishing in last. And Yagao is going to pick up player of the game, 4, 2, and 6. You voted for this guy. I thought that Zoom was pretty good too. But I guess Yagao also
Yeah.
was able to land lots of stuff.
I mean, I rate more about the map control, the early map control. You know, that's my like high rate point for the
like it.
when it comes to like POG and good player as well. You know, and this player, I mean, he decided to blind pick Syndra in the first phase as well, and he got the first gank, but after that, on the top side fight, he was there and just one-shotting Doran, and all the team fights, he was kind of denying Chovy from the super play as well. So, I mean, he well deserved